Unplugged is a program designed by Julia Jacks Consulting to support and showcase thought leaders, subject matter experts, and celebrate owners of growing and very focused businesses. My name is Julia Oku-Jacks, and it's a pleasure to have you with us today on Unplugged. Thank you for joining us. We started this 2023 season deliberately with foundational programs. How did we come up with this? To get people in the state of mind to know that they can thrive no matter the state of the economy, no matter what they, they see, no matter what the situation is. So we've spoken to people about the mindset. Steph Red spoke to us about minding our minds, and Christopher Okoko spoke to us last week about thinking big, starting small but thinking big. Thinking big, starting small but thinking big. And it's our absolute pleasure and joy today to have as our guest Blessing Elenya. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, man, for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's really a pleasure. I'll tell you a little bit about her. I call her Auntie Blessing, and she calls her Auntie Julia back. So we're cool on the auntie front, you know. Blessing Adeze Elenya is a certified personal finance trainer. She's a mentor, and she is the founder of the Finance. She's a mentor, and she is the founder of the Finance Nation, and that is something we're going to talk about a lot later. The Finance Nation is an organization that trains and mentors people to master the art of making, multiplying, and managing their money. Full disclosure, I just joined the Finance Nation. I had to. And I think as she goes on, she'll tell us why you also would have to join the Finance Nation. Blessing is also a trained chef and recipe menu developer, and she believes in saving the world one delicious meal after the other. And I love her meals. Trust me. Trust me. I love food too. I'm telling you so much about myself today, but I guess you already figured out that I love food. You know. Blessing is an intuitive. You already figured out that I love food. You know. Blessing is an intuitive serial entrepreneur who has a knack of sniffing out profitable investments in a world of endless business opportunities. And she sits on the boards of several profitable companies. She has a passion for business growth and structure, and this has translated into helping and enabling business owners build protocols and processes for their business so that these businesses can operate without their direct daily supervision. I think that is the desire for all of us business owners, that we can take a break. Yeah. And maybe think of other things and explore other things as well. So this is Blessing, Auntie Blessing of the Finance Nation, among other things. And I want to start off the blocks by asking her a kind of left field question. Auntie Blessing, what do money or riches, wealth, and abundance mean for you?
Okay, when you, I think for me, wealth is when you're healthy, both in your mind and your pocket is healthy as well, and you can actually do the things you want to do without considering the cost. And you have.
And this cost is not always financial, right?
Yeah, it's not always. When you want to discuss currency, you have different ones. You have the, excuse me, the health currency, social currency, and also
financial currency.
Yes, financial currency too.
So what does abundance mean then?
Okay. Abundance is actually when both your mind and your pocket can work the same way. Because when we say somebody is poor, it doesn't mean the person doesn't have money. You can have money and still be poor. So it's a mindset thing. And when you've been able to train yourself to the point where you can actually see money with your mind's eye, I think at that point you've entered the abundance stage. Because someone can actually see problems and not know. That's money actually. So when your mind and your pocket can work at the same frequency, for me that's abundance.
I really love that, and that's a real suitable right there. You can see money with the mind's eye, so you see a problem, and instead of seeing it as a problem, you see it as an opportunity that can bring
Yeah, exactly.
profitable solutions to all parties.
Yes.
Because I believe value has to be for both sides.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And why I asked that question is because some people think it's until in the Bible it says money answered, what is it?
All things.
All things, But money can buy you friends. It can buy you
Some friends who don't have integrity.
yeah, but it can buy you loyalty,
Yes.
stuff like that. So yeah, there's some things that money buy, but abundance of all things good. Yes. So our first guest, Steph Red, on Unplugged this year, spoke about the need to mind your mind. And one of the things she spoke about was this thing that we like to do, which is really when you're running your race, you glance sideways and say, look at what my mates are doing, see how far this person has gone. And she said, don't look at other people as your mates. Focus on what you're doing. I know one of the ways in which we measure ourselves is how are we doing compared financially, especially. How are we doing compared to our mates, so-called mates. And recently I was with some really good friends of mine, and they were talking about shoes and bags and stuff like that. And I like the good thing, I don't go overboard with it. And they're saying, oh, I won't mention the brand because it's a really good brand. Oh, I have this brand in this color and that color and that color, and they're all talking about it. And I just say, I've never owned that brand of Bible. And the conversation kind of just collapsed on itself. So I see that money can be a trigger. What do you think about it? I mean, you deal with finances a lot. What do you think about money being a trigger to us and me looking at other people as our mates are doing better?
Okay, I think we live in a society where people's status are measured by how much they have or they can see you wear. So people try to prove they are wealthy or they have money by what they wear, what they carry, what they drive. And is the society we're living in, because most times you walk into a shop to buy something. I mean, you're bringing money. The sales girl tries to just sizes you up and decides how she's going to respond to you. And it's actually tells some people if you've not yet worked on yourself. And that's why I can't talk about money without mentioning mindset. You need to be at the point where you know that really I have my goals. I'm on a personal journey. I don't have to be like the next person. And for those of us who are people of faith, we already know it's a personal journey. So when you have these goals in front of you, they should inspire you and not bring you to the point of depression because someone else has something. And it requires a whole lot of training, strategy. And once you get to that point, that's the meaning of contentment. So you don't care what somebody else has, you're just happy with who you are and what you've been able to achieve. So when we try to size up or measure our own progress based on the people we grew up with, I think we should also check the parameters. Some people grew up and they already had a foundation to work on, and other people grew up and there was nobody to hold them by the hands and show them this is what you should do, this is what you should not do. I give you an example of when I was working in the bank. We had a colleague who wasn't concerned about buying gold or clothes or all those things. And then a few years after, she tendered her resignation letter. I'm like, "Hey." I mean, then they used to, when they threaten you. If you don't do this, you're going to a lot of power on the street.
Yes.
And somebody had mind, to tender resignation letter. And then a few years after, I think one of her former colleagues ran into her at the airport and asked what she was doing. And she said, this. When did you start this? So I think that's someone, you can't start measuring yourself, because that's someone who probably knew something before you.
She had a foundation.
Yeah, she had a good one.
Yes.
She had someone telling her, once you do this, this is what you should do. This is how you should do it. You didn't have, there's a line of, I think it's a quote by Tupac, the late Tupac. He said,
I'm shocked you know Tupac. But I'm not shocked.
Yeah. And then he said something that when you see a rose that grew through concrete, you should learn to appreciate that rose.
For real.
Because imagine what that rose would have been like if it was, planted in the right soil.
Yes.
But one could say this, I see this rose as a bend.
Yes.
It's not even straight, read well. So I think we shouldn't beat ourselves so hard. We should be able to say, look at where you're coming from and appreciate the process.
I think that's really profound, especially for people who are starting off. Some people start off with a lot of seed capital. People invest in them from the beginning. Some people just start off with their savings. There's nobody helping them along the way, and things happen along the way. For the past 2 years, I can share my personal story. So I mean, we had some investment, but we didn't have seed capital. My husband fell ill, and that took a lot of finances out. He's getting better now. That's the good news.
Yeah.
But when you take care of somebody who is not well, it takes a lot of things out of. So you need to, like they say in Nigeria, face your front. That is, stay on your lane. And really know what matters most. Very difficult to do in this world where we compare ourselves, we look at ourselves and we size ourselves up, maybe even subconsciously. So if there are people out there growing businesses who are looking at other businesses and other business owners, especially, we like to post on social media, don't look at them so much and say, oh, okay, they're doing so much better because they're posting so much more.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But then we've also learned not to just focus on social media. There was a time in my industry, there's a lady I admire so much, and I noticed she was always, 300 pounds gone out this morning. I'm like, hey? What
just like that.
Just like that. Jollof rice as in one full pot. And then the next morning she's posting, okay, coming up soon. I had to send her a message like, please,
how you doing this?
Yes, because I want to know. Let me, for like a week now, I haven't seen
show me the way.
Yes. And then guess what? She just said, my old pictures.
Oh my word.
At that point, the table turned and she was asking me for 5,000.
Whoa.
So that's actually just, right now, I don't care if you are streaming on social media. I just know that I have targets for my company, and then this is how we're supposed to achieve them. We just focus at the end of each quarter. We do our evaluation process and know we did well. Because for a business person, you should know the difference between last year and this year.
True.
So if you're not doing those evaluations, you won't know the difference. So we're able to say, okay, this month we did well. Next month, this is what we're shooting for. So
in your business, do you evaluate monthly or quarterly?
I do quarterly.
You do quarterly. Why did you choose to do quarterly?
Okay, because some months, every business person should have what we call MRR, monthly recurring revenue. Okay, so And then before you can do your annual recurring revenue, you should be able to know the monthly one. And then these monthly ones actually they are not steady,
Yes.
because for the kind of business I do, some people will order food this month, next month they may not, maybe they are not in town, and then other months they may not, and then maybe by the fourth month
They order a lot.
they order a lot, and they are coming with 3 other persons to also place orders. So when you do monthly, at the end of each quarter, it can give you an overview, for you to look at.
So it gives you a better snapshot.
Yes, yes.
So that means you take 3 months.
Yes.
I know banks usually do monthly, but okay. Okay, so well, guys, you heard it from her. Finance person turned banker turned finance guru turned. In fact, she's a serial entrepreneur because she's in the food business as well. Okay, now we were speaking of social media just now, and in one of your posts, which we saw, you said, and this is a very interesting quote, and I quote it directly: "Poverty must be studied. You can't change what you do not understand." Now, Auntie Blessing, we are running away from poverty, but you say we should study it. Why? What does this mean?
Okay, the thing is, if you don't understand poverty and money comes into your hand, you're going to lose that money. The reason being that, like I tried to share about the story of a former colleague. I also believe that poverty is also taught in families the same way wealth is also taught in homes.
You need to break that down, girl. You need to break that down. Please break it down for us. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, like attitude towards money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Please break it down.
Yes, there are lots of things we do that actually show that I have this poor mindset. Same way with wealth. And if someone doesn't sit down to actually study, what does it mean to be poor? What does it mean to have a poor mindset? What am I doing? If you don't do that evaluation and money comes, there is a tendency to prove a point. So if you don't get to that point and money comes, you lose it. That's the reason lottery winners never stay. Yes, a lot of them. Because they've not really sat down to study it.
Like 90%, if not more, do not.
So there is something called financial thermostat. So as you keep growing in your financial journey, you will know what your thermostat is. The number. Thermostat is, if you bring a thermostat here, no matter the temperature you set it tracks it to, this temperature, the reading to what it is that you have set. So if someone whose thermostat is on 20,000, for example, and then the person happens to make 500K, that person will be reckless.
Will do everything possible to go back to 20,000.
Then when the person gets to 20,000, the person starts having wisdom. Person says, "Hi, that's money. I should have done this. I should have done that." So there is this a certain amount that you can manage per time. But as you keep working on yourself, keep increasing it. As you take on the financial journey, you know how much that is very easy for you to get. There was a time if somebody mentioned 50,000, you'll be thinking, it starts sweating.
I've been there.
It starts sweating, but as I kept growing, see some amount that you mentioned, I'm like, okay, I know what to do. Just give me this. And truly the money will come out. Yeah, because, and then there are still some now that when you mention, I'm like, God, you need to help us. So it's being intentional, working on your mind for you to be able to understand what poverty really is. You can't fight it if you don't know it.
That is true. But this mindset thing, I think it's this abundance mindset. What does it really look like? Because I think it's something I struggle with, not all the time, because most times I'm like, yeah, we're cool. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Then something happens. I'm like, hey, what's that? and I get jittery for a while.
Mm.
You know, how does an abundance mindset, a wealthy mindset look like?
Okay, for me, it means you're contented with what you have.
Okay, contentment.
Contentment is there. And then, secondly, you don't hoard things.
Okay, what do you mean hoarding?
Um, have you ever met some people and you're asking them some questions of how did you get this? They say, nah, God,
Oh yeah,
you know.
I don't ask those people
Uh-huh.
questions again.
So once they say nah, God, you just leave them because the person feels you shouldn't know.
Yeah.
And then some other person can tell you, oh, this is the process to get this, but that's my business. If you want more information, you need to pay me. But they won't even say anything, you know. And then most times, by virtue of what I do, you go to an event, you see someone that is well dressed, and the person's appetite has not yet been tamed. The person is almost trying to fall into the pool of rice because the person wants food for his dog, the person wants food to take to the wife, the person wants food, do you
For
understand?
tomorrow?
Yes, and you can afford this. I mean, you go for an event, the people pay per head, and you go there, eat your own share and go. So at that point, you
You're not
just know,
supposed to
yes.
feed your village.
So, and then even if you feel that okay, the food is still remaining, the person that paid for the event might actually want to go home
Yes.
with some of these foods, but most of them. So when you check, that scarcity mentality of it will soon finish, let us grab it. I don't know when this will come again. Just like the children of Israel did with manna. They say take one, they say no, let's pack. I don't know when this will come again. So, but once you understand that things, change is constant. There are a lot of things we used to have like 10, 20 years ago. If they give you now, you don't want to use it.
True.
There are places we used to use in serving food. If you take it to an event, who will ask, what happened to you, So having that open mind that if I don't have it today, I can also get it tomorrow. I think for me that's abundance. Because you understand that there is enough.
There is enough.
There is enough everywhere.
There is enough. There is enough. I remember when we started last year, and it was my coach, Bidemi Makmodi, who talked about what did she talk about? She talked about there is enough. She talks about having this mentality that there is nothing that is too difficult. There's nothing that's truly impossible. If you are a believer, there's nothing that's really impossible. It's just a temporary state of mind.
Yeah.
It's just a temporary state of mind. Yeah. Well, we are kind of halfway through, and I hope we have questions. Our team will let me know if you have questions, because I am utterly fascinated by this conversation. Money is something that I think this conversation goes beyond money. It's really about mindsets and the other parts of our life, the abundance, and you talk about that contentment. Very important, very important. Now, I'm going to ask you, this is a little bit of a long-winded question, so I will kind of break it down. There's this guy who's an American entrepreneur. His name is Tim Ferriss. He's an investor, he's an entrepreneur, he's an author, he's a podcaster, he's also what they call a lifestyle guru. And one of the things that he said is that money can be multiplied in practical value depending on the W's. And the W's are what you have in your life, what you do, when you do it, where you do it, and with whom you do it. So those are the 4 W's he's talking about. What you do, when you do it, where you do it, and with whom you do it. What do you think about this I know you already believe that money can be multiplied, and you're going to tell us that. But what do you think about the impact of those W's on your life?
What you do,
Yes.
where you do it, the what, the who, and where.
The what, the when, the where, and with whom.
Okay. I think, let me start with the who.
Okay.
I will keep backward. The connections we have are very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there are connections you're going to have. By tomorrow morning, you'll be shocked where you'll be. And then there are connections you're going to have. You just, nosedive.
Sinks you.
Yes. So the who is key. Apart from having the what you're bringing to the table, the who is very important. And then the when depends on your ability to actually study the terrain,
The times and the seasons.
Yes, you have to know.
But should we be so careful about the times and the seasons? Because people might say, like, people keep saying, there's no money. I'm like, I don't know for you, maybe there's no money. But should we be so over mindful of the terrain?
We should. There is a reason why we have times and seasons.
Okay.
The person who is selling an umbrella cannot sell more during dry season.
But wise people will buy during the dry season.
Yes, because
it's cheaper.
So, and the wise ones are usually not many. So, it's usually the foolish ones. It's at that point where they need it, that they want to buy it. The same thing with financial planning. The best time to have a financial plan is really when you think you don't need it.
Okay.
But most people want it at that point where they are desperate for it and they pay more for that.
When they're in a bind.
Yes.
When they're in a bind. Okay. The other one is where you do it. Okay.
Okay, so the where is you knowing, for you who is into the digital, who is a digital entrepreneur, I also have. I've added that to my cart. So if you know the where, you know the tools to go with. What is, for example, you can't say you're playing on the online space without the necessary gadgets.
Yes.
There are lots of things you need to have. Before now, we used to hear, just go online, you can make money with your phone. It's a very big lie. You can't make money with just your phone. If you want to make real money, except you want to do Gen 2K kind of things. But if you really want to make real money, you can't make money with just your phone. You need other gadgets
to be able to.
Yes, you have to.
Even with just your phone, there are different apps and things that are things you have to do.
So
know how to do.
Knowing the where determines what you're going about is.
Oh yeah, you have, because for some people the where means just the physical terrain. So you find a lot of people just migrating to places where they think are going to support them. But I think what COVID taught us is that you can make money anywhere. You can make money anywhere. You can just do what you have to do. And yeah. So yeah. Okay, so guys, you heard it. It's the what you do. So be very clear about what you do. When you do it, observe the times and seasons. Don't be overly concerned with times and seasons, but observe them carefully and see what the opportunities are. When people, I read somewhere that what do they call them? Buffaloes. When there's a storm approaching, that when other animals are running away, I don't know if it's regular buffaloes or water buffaloes, I'm not sure. So when other animals are running away from the storm clouds, that the buffaloes run towards the storm clouds because they know that when they can get through that, they get through it faster and they go out to the other side.
Wow.
Yes, safe. Whereas those other people are still dying of fear and the storm eventually gets them. So I mean, when I read that, I'm like, that's interesting. I mean, there's so much that we can learn about from nature.
Yeah.
So yeah, so what you do, when you do it, where you do it, and with whom you do it, very important. Now, I'd like to share another quote that you have, and that will lead us to the finance nation. You have for somebody who doesn't like to operate much in the digital space, you have some really quotable quotes. He said, and this guys, listen very carefully. He said, no money is permitted to leave your hands without instruction, no matter the amount. Okay, two words there. Permit, instruction. Those two words. How do we give money permission and how do we instruct money?
Through budgeting.
Aha.
Through budgeting. So once money comes into your hand, you're able to sit down.
Okay.
As if you're having a meeting. 2,000, you're going here. 10,000, this is where you're going to. So that's actually, it's a crime to earn money and at the end of the month you don't know what to use it for.
Aha.
So
would you say we should track everything?
Yes, you should track your expenses. You should be able to, because for personal finance there are indicators you should know. You should know not just your net worth, you should also know how to track your expenses. So when you
hold on, is personal finance different from corporate finance?
Yeah, a bit, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay. Can you just tell us, because many of the people who follow us, yeah, they have personal finance, but they also run businesses.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So for personal finance, as the name implies, it's just about you, your money, how you're able to manage your own money. But for corporate, it's for the organization. And then there are things you can find in personal finance that you may not find with the corporate one. For example, if you're doing a financial plan, there are areas you should have budget plan, you should have a risk plan, you should be able to have a retirement plan, you should be able to have an education plan, you should be able to have an emergency plan. But for the business, you can't add retirement plan. Yeah. You can't add retirement plan. So there is just
contingency plan, business continuity
plan. It should just be there. But the difference is not much, because I feel that anything you see an organization doing, you should also apply it to yourself.
You can learn from.
Yes.
So these structures, when we talk about structures and protocols in businesses, it's not just standard operating procedures, it's also financial structures.
Yes.
And how to track your money, where your top earners are, top income, and then the ones that you just want to do because there's some businesses we do because we just want to show ourselves out there.
Number.
No, not even complete the number. There's some that not vanity they push you out. People know more about you. But some heavy earners are very quiet. They are without loan.
I saw someone's status that she says customers who don't stress you are like a breath of fresh air or something. I say it's true. There are different categories of customers. They are the ones who stress you, they are the ones who don't stress you. So it's for you to know the ones you want more and focus more on them. And there is also
just have a basket of them, because the ones who stress you sometimes are good for training.
Yes.
We may not like it, but it's good for training.
Exactly.
So the Bible says that it's whom God loves that He prunes.
Yeah.
So when you're going through that pruning, it's not nice, but you come out stronger.
Of course.
We had a comment from Geraldine Oku, and she agrees entirely. Thank you, Jerry, for joining us today. She says she agrees entirely that poverty must be studied, that there's definitely a psychology of poverty, just as there's a psychology of wealth. Thank you for that comment. Thank you for that comment. We'll do a wrap up before blessing goes, but I'd like to have blessing talk to us right now about the finance nation. Sorry, I dropped my pen. About the finance nation, because that is the big deal. I recently joined the finance nation, and I can tell you, as soft spoken and calm as she is here, she doesn't take any prisoners. Trust me. She'll explain it to you, she'll explain it to you again and again and again. But she says 100% compliance. And let me, before she tells us about the finance nation, she gave us a task recently, 2 tasks. I've done one. She said go into a shop that you like, look around, not just enter the shop, but look around and leave it without buying anything. Have you guys ever faced that kind of challenge? Well, I went into a shop, but I already know that when I go into shops, there are things that call me, come and buy me, come and buy me. It's like they're talking to me. So I went into a shop with my list, and I did not go to the places that were not calling that were calling my name, but were not on my list. So I was able to do that.
It's a good discipline to build.
It is.
I went into a shop with someone, the person felt guilty. Like, why would we just enter here and not buy anything? I said, no, it's okay, it's called window shopping.
That's true.
Yeah, just look around. The guy didn't take it, he had to buy, to say, let's buy yogurt. Yes,
But why? What mentality is that? What mindset would that be? Because
you see, it's that thing of, that is how you want people to see you.
Okay.
Let them not think I'm people.
I see.
At least let me show them that I have something.
I have something.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you don't have to prove a point. Really, you don't have to prove a point.
Okay, guys, you see she's tough, right? Okay. So please tell us about the finance nation and what you do with the finance nation.
Okay, the finance nation is a subscription-based community, where we admit people yearly, and then we run trainings and just train you on how to make money, manage and multiply money. But the easiest one people know is how to make and multiply money. The managing part is a very long and difficult process. When you know how to, making money is very easy. Who doesn't know how to make money? If you just go and carry something for someone as for money, they will pay you,
Okay.
So, and then the multiplication part, everybody knows that I need to put my 1,000 to make more. But if you don't know how to manage it, that's where people become victims of scammers. Because at that point, you're moving from just making people move from making and going to multiplication without learning the process of management.
Okay.
So, but if you know how to manage money properly, the multiplication part becomes extremely automatic for you.
Okay, let me ask you a question, which I hope will help land it and ground it for many of. Let's say I was selling groundnuts in regular bottles before, and someone like me who is a branding expert says to you, oh, people need to know your name out there, because these your peanuts are really nice, and people need to know and recognize, and then you move. But I didn't tell you, so I tell you, people, you have to have a name, and probably have to have a label so people can see and say, this is what I want. But I didn't tell you, go from bottles, migrate from bottles into some exotic packs, and you go straight from that. Would that be kind of truncating the management process?
Yeah, it'll be part of it.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not shooting myself. I'm not shooting myself with the foot.
A part of it, because let's say you start a business and then you're running the business and you want to increase your revenue, you should have been able to know your costs of getting to that point. And then the money that is coming here, you should be able to also know how to manage the profit. Most business owners feel that they are not supposed to do investments. They are not supposed to have an emergency fund. Meanwhile, you should have, because
So as a business owner, you can invest.
yes, you can invest as a business.
Okay.
There is a percentage that should be set aside for reinvesting.
Okay.
So you should be able to invest every year. At the end of the year, you should know, an accountant should help you. When they are checking your cash flow, there is operational cash flow. Then we also have investment cash flow. So at that point, you should know the kind of if somebody who is into catering, for example, sorry, I'm a passionate chef who is into catering, and then at the end of the year, you've actually been deducting a certain percentage of your profit, and say this one is going to, let's say, buy a land.
Uh-huh.
If you buy a land for #1,000,000 and at the point of maybe 5 years time you're selling for 20 million, that's an investment for the country.
True.
So
some people actually also exchange foreign exchange.
Yes.
And keep it aside.
Yes. So these are things you should do, and then taking it step by step. If this person rushes to go to the point because the person is after, I need more customers, more customers. Most times the person gets to that point, the capacity cannot even handle these customers, and it becomes a total failure. I've worked with some people who from the onset they didn't have the proper system or structure in place. You're just doing business, everybody does the same thing. There is no sales, no marketing, no production team, there is nothing. So you just do like running around, and if you can't, like I mentioned, if you cannot capture your monthly revenue, your monthly recurring revenue, it will be difficult for you to get to the end of the year and say, this is actually what we need. So being able to
or you get to the end of the year and you're sad.
You don't feel like you've been paying salaries.
Yes. Yes.
So it helps, and there are lots that business owners are supposed to know. What does it take you to get these customers? What is it costing you to keep a customer? There are some customers you should just let go. You are not in business to service everybody. So there are customers that you should just let go. That's the reason when you go to Play Store, there are different apps. You check the one that suits you.
True.
So the cost for your customers acquisition should be known. If you're running ads, what does it cost to execute this job? This customer comes and all of that. So if you pay for 5,000 naira for a Facebook ads, and 200 will comes, you already know that 25 naira brought one person.
Guys, are you listening how we're breaking it down?
You already know 25 naira brought a person, and then how much data did you spend? When you get all these costs, you will know the cost of getting this customer. Now, if everything you spent is 2,000 to get this customer, and the customer is giving you a business of 500 naira, that's a loss. You should just leave the person, because at that point the customer's value is below the cost.
I'm laughing. I think I'm guilty. Yeah, because sometimes you get carried away with the fact that people came, but
yes. So somebody can have a cash flow, a good cash flow, and not be making profits. So as a business owner, and some of the indicators you should be careful of being conscious, knowing profit margin. Then check your cash flow. You can be having cash security and you're not making money.
You're just turning it around.
Yes, you're just in and out. And then once you sit down and capture these metrics,
it's very important. But I want you to talk more about the Finance Nation. But before we go there, I just want to say, for those who didn't join us at the beginning, this is this series, Mind Your Business, from Julia Jacks Consulting, and today we have the pleasure of speaking with Blessing Elenya of the Finance Nation, among other things that she does. She is a chef, a really good chef at that, and she is a finance financial management guru and mentor. You know, she trains people in how to manage their finances, personal finances, and as you may just have heard, she says you can learn a lot from the personal finances and apply to your business finances. So far, what she has actually explained to us is like how she talked to us about the difference between abundance, riches, and wealth, and talked to us about the importance of contentment. That's where she believes in abundance. Yes, that's where your mindset should be, contentment. And also, when you see difficult, challenging situations, don't don't join everyone to say, "Oh, this is so bad. We can't thrive in this environment." Be like that buffalo. Look at the opportunities and run towards the storm
Yeah.
and see what you can get, because you can create value in these difficult situations. That is when people are looking for solution providers. So be a solution provider. She's also talked to us about how to make, multiply, and manage your money, how important it is, and how many of us skip from making to multiplication without learning that bridge, which is managing, the discipline of managing your money. You know, so we are not going to go to the finance nation, and learn in the like 10 minutes that we have left, including your questions as well. You know, what what do people stand to gain? I joined the Finance Nation purely on trust, and trust, guys, is a great currency, relational currency you cannot buy. I joined it on trust. Auntie Blessing spoke to us at the JJC retreat last year when we were planning for 2023. And as soon as she talked about how to track how much you spend getting one client, I knew that I had to get even closer to her. And so that is one of the reasons I joined the Finance Nation, and also to make sure that I have abundance. I have abundance of money. So please tell people how they can join, and then what a few of, I know you won't want to tell everybody things because I don't even know everything, but what are some of the lessons that we can learn as business owners and for our personal finances? What are some of the things we can learn from joining the Finance Nation?
Okay. One on Instagram as the Finance Nation, also on Facebook. If you send us a DM, we're going to respond to you. You know, there's also a link that you can click on a link tree for you to join. But then, when you join, after dealing with, we teach you how to budget properly. We also teach you how to manage, how to segment your money. And not just that, when opportunities come, investment opportunities come, we also share it in the group. So you get to participate in the one that you can. We also have running savings challenge, different categories and all of that. And then most times people just leave without knowing how to build an emergency fund, which is more like helping you treat crisis like just an inconvenience. And so we have different ways that you can learn how to build that. Everybody should have an emergency fund.
Sure.
Sure. Everybody should also have a spending plan.
I wouldn't say a fun fund. You should have a preferential fund.
Yes, have money for fun.
Yes.
Because when you're managing your money, it's not just about the serious business alone. So sometimes take yourself out. You should have money for fun. For years before now, I used to just wish I want to go on vacation. This year I must go on vacation. And then there was no plan. Now I understand there are things to do for me to actually go on vacation. So when I say, okay, this year I intend to go to so country, I can achieve it, It's easier.
So you break it down.
Yes. So
I need to do this.
Yes.
Guys, one tip you need to know: if you are planning to travel in September, buy your tickets now.
It's well discounted.
Yes.
So buy it now. So I guess we just teach everything about money for the business owners too who are in the group. try to make sure you have the necessary books, you're keeping records. It's shocking when you meet some business, they don't have records. Nobody is tracking anything. They don't have inventory. So they just use the finishes. You should have an inventory. When assign your order level to every of your item. Know when, so that you're not at that point where people are running helter-skelter because an order
It's an
just came in.
emergency, yeah.
So you should be able to have all of this, well captured. So basically, we just teach you about money, and money is a big deal.
It's a big deal. I tell you, when she addresses us as hello wealthy
Citizens.
citizens.
Yes.
So that's
joining
also
the nation already makes you a wealthy citizen.
So is this a physical thing, or can you be a virtual member? Do you have to be physically in the same space?
No,
Okay.
no. We hold our classes online.
Okay.
So, and then we also do one-on-one. We have the group one, we have people who actually opt for one-on-one. I met a lady that said she doesn't have strength to study for an entire year. Just teach me everything within 2 weeks.
Is that possible?
Yes. So she
Teach
paid.
everything. I mean, you didn't give me that option.
I need that.
But I think it's really good to learn with other people, because I believe really strongly in iron sharpening iron, and many things I might think I know. Actually, I think I've gotten to the point. Life has humbled me to the point where I know that I don't know a lot of things. I may think I know. This is the other thing. When you work in big businesses, many things are being taken care
Yeah.
for you on your behalf.
Yes.
But when you have to do these things on your own, it's like, oh my goodness, how do we do this? How do we do inventory? This inventory you're talking about, how do we do it? How do we track this finance? How do we sort out petty cash? How do we know what we are making month on month? But in big businesses, people are tracking these things for you. So these are some of the things we learn from being Finance Nation. Is there a time of the year? Do you have a time when people can join and when they can't?
Yes.
You have cohorts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then like by the end of February we will not take anybody.
Okay, guys, run now. Now.
By the end of February we won't have new people join us, because by then we would have done like 4 classes. So right now, if somebody joins, I have to take the person through the classes they've missed, and then
Can we say go online and read
the record?
Yes, the recording.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are there in the group, so you can always go back and play them. So, but after then, we also have what we call a boot camp.
Okay.
Yes, we're going to do that 3 times this year.
What does the boot camp?
The boot camp is just like an abridged form of what we do in the community, and it runs from Friday to Sunday.
Okay.
So,
but that's a physical thing.
No, it's not.
It's also online.
Yes.
Okay.
We have to. The world has gone digital.
For real.
So
for real.
Yes.
For real. Okay. So business owners out there, and people who want to start business, and people who just want to improve their personal finances. Our guest today, Blessing Elenya, has spoken to us about making money, which she says is the easiest. You might think no, but it's the easiest. They're multiplying money, but then the managing of money is that bridge that many of us do not know how to do it and do it properly and do it consistently. It requires a lot of discipline, doesn't it?
A lot.
Yeah. So if you already know these things, please practice them for the health of your business and for your own health as well. If you don't know these things, then please join the Finance Nation or any other group. I'm just talking about the Finance Nation because I have joined and I like it very, very, very much. So there's a February deadline to join the Finance Nation, and then there's a boot camp 3 times a year, and she'll tell us when, you know. Okay, we have a comment from Geraldine, and Geraldine says she'll definitely contact you for a budgeting class. Can you take budgeting classes just like that?
Yes, they can.
Okay, guys, I think we've created a new project now. You know, the Finance Nation, in collaboration with Julia Jack's Consulting, will offer you a budgeting class.
Yes.
Yes, very important. I think at the beginning of the year, very, very important. Personal budgeting and then business budgeting. You know, I did a budget and to my shock, I didn't put water for the house. I did a domestic budget, like for the quarter, because those are my recurring expenses. I just realized that I didn't put water. Like, how did I forget water? So that just goes to show there's so many things that we forget to track.
Yes.
So as we round up, we have like 4 minutes to go. I'd like to ask, could you give tips specifically for growing business owners regarding finances and growing their business, especially in these challenging and extremely interesting economic times?
Okay, I think first thing, every business owner should learn how to work with an accountant or a financial planner. You don't have to employ the person. You can actually have someone come set all the books for you and then check up on you maybe at the end of the month, so that's a good one. And then it will also help for the person to track the expenses. The truth is, if you don't have these numbers, if you're hiring a marketer, what's the target you're giving to the person?
True. It's just be off the top of the
Yes,
head.
you'll be talking, I think I want us to sell 2,500 products this month. What does that translate to, your financial records? How you capture your salaries and all of that. And then I think everyone should be on salary. Don't just, after paying salaries, you feel that the other money, they're all yours. Then you're using them the way you want. You have the ATM cards and all of that. No, put yourself on salary. It's also an expense for the company. If you don't want to be paid monthly, you can do what we call the director's drawings. It could be a percentage. You can make it quarterly, but have something that is given to you from your business. If your business has not gotten to the point that it can pay you salary, get a job. Just keep it as a side business, as a side hustle. You're paying people.
Get a job, or maybe rethink the way you're doing your business.
Yes, exactly. Rethink it, and you should capture it. At the end of the month, I met some people who feels all they do is just pay salaries, as if they are working for the staff. Meanwhile,
so they feel kind of resentment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the idea to own a business because you want people to work for you or with you.
With you, yeah.
So you should be able to put your own cost into as part of the expenses. So, and then track everything. Have an inventory. No matter what you're doing, you're supposed to have an inventory. Have an inventory system. If you don't have the one you can do with technology, have a book.
A physical one.
Yes, just have a book to handle all of that.
That you can check.
Yes,
This is going down.
Yes,
and that helps you know.
Yes.
What have we spent? How much did it bring for us?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you making profits? I notice some people can make more through collaborations.
Yes.
So if you feel you're not making so much as you originally planned, most time when we write business plan, it's the reality that would not make you know that.
It's a good idea at that time. Everything is a good idea at that time.
In the business plan, you actually probably noted that after 6 months you're going to break even. And then it's 2 years now, you're yet to break even. There is probably someone doing it better. You can have
to
that collaboration.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just that most business folk, I don't know why, they find it difficult to trust each other. If a caterer calls me up now to ask me questions, I go all out because I knew how I suffered when I started without a system in place. You just cook because you can cook and all of that. So I go all out to just put them through.
I think that's that who that W the who you have, who you're doing life with is very
Yes,
important.
it's key.
You know, and I also have the who of I follow in on social media. There's some people that give you information freely. They don't make it look like magic. They tell you, listen, listen, listen. You know, this is what we can do. You know, this is what we can do. There's some people that will give you incredible templates, and they give you at a incredible good, in fact, ridiculous price. Yes.
Ridiculous price.
Yes. You know. Okay, we have another comment from Ijama. Ijama Guma says, my DM will be waiting for your attention. Finance Nation, that's you.
Thank
Okay.
you, Ijoma.
Okay. Thank you very much for everybody who joined us today. Thank you for clarifying a lot of things for us about the mindset of money, that abundance mindset, the art, I would say, of contentment, and also the art of seeing challenges and seeing the value in challenges and not being beaten down.
Yeah.
And then also managing and tracking your money. You know, guys, money matters. You know, as you're minding your business, you need to mind your mind, you need to think big, and you need to mind your money. You know, so next week we'll come to you with legal matters. Yes, staying on the right side of the law and regulation. That's what we'll do next week, and join us for that. It promises to be a really interesting one as well, because all these things they're like a jigsaw puzzle, and they all add up to make us better business owners. And that is our plan for you in Julia Jacks Consulting, that you'll do better. Auntie Blessing, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been such a joy.
Thank you for
Bye,
having
everybody.
me. Thank you for the trust.
Oh. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.